goes along with a song that says, you just don't know. God bless you. Can I get a witness? Somebody ought to be a witness up in here. You just don't know. God bless you.
Come on, Trina. Yeah. All right.
About condition of life, Trina. But about conditions of life, but I don't worry. My stripe, you don't know, you don't know. Oh, you just don't realize. You know I said that because you. And they can't even talk today. Oh, I wish I had no witness in here. Somebody but when I get a little money, I just like to see that. Yes, sir. Because
Zena Renee Washington Ministries presents a Thanksgiving holiday weekend gospel extravaganza, Sunday, November 28th at 6 p.m. at the Amite River Hall in Hammond, featuring for the first time ever in Hammond the Eternal Light Singers of Marianna, Arkansas, and backed by popular demand, the Bester Singers of Slidell, Louisiana, and backed by popular demand, the dynamic Holy Spiritual Airs of Laurel, Mississippi. Also appearing to Pitts Boys and Company, the Light Gospel Group, Realistic and Biblical, CTQ, and a surprise guest. For ticket and information, call 985-634-4580 or 985-662-0603.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Trina Renee Washington, the host of Word of Truth and Gospel Videos. We ask that you would pledge to sow a seed to our ministry on a monthly basis, that we might be able to continue to bring this program to you weekly. We ask that you will view the information that we'll follow in the way that you will be able to contact us to give us that contribution. We do thank you in advance for your contribution. We do pray that this program has been a blessing to you and continue to be a blessing to you and your family. May God continue to bless each and every one of you.
Good seed, sow good seed. You better sow good seed.
Powers family presents a teaching and singing workshop led by well-known recording artist Chester D.T. Baldwin. This is your chance to be taught and actually sing in a choir directed by Chester D.T. Baldwin himself. Come on out, Minister Baldwin wants 200 singers from the greater Hammond area to participate in this choir. Would you like to receive a personal phone call from Chester D.T. Baldwin? Just register early by calling 225-288-8100. All workshops and choir rehearsals will be at Mount Kingdom Baptist Church, located on Highway 51 in Tickfaw. Register now to participate. Workshops will be held Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, December 1st through 3rd at 6 p.m. nightly, with a special performance by the choir on Friday, December 3rd at 7 p.m. Call now for more details, 225-288-8100. And don't forget to receive your personal phone call from Chester D.T. Baldwin. Register early. That's 225-288-8100.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those gospel videos. Yes, I do. I hope you enjoyed those gospel videos. Well, for those who are viewing the Sunday school lesson, here we go, here we go. Well, our Sunday school lesson this week, we already told you what the title was. We told you what the unified topic was. And now we're going to talk about those scriptures. God's transcendence, Psalms 91 through 2. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Now, when we talk about that, we're talking about that outline one. God's transcendence. It's kind of transcendent. That is kind of like means like God don't really just have a place where he actually just resides other than in us. He's everywhere. He's anywhere he want to be. He's whatever he want to be, however he want to be. You know, you hear people saying he'll be your mother, he'll be your father, he'll be your sister too. And then it says about the dwelling place. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. And I told you earlier that this is Moses. He's praying to God. He's praying to God about the whole situation of the children of Israel in the wilderness. Because you know the children of Israel wandered around in the wilderness for 40 years after Moses brought them out of Egypt. And so Moses is just giving God his promise and saying, God, you everything, you everywhere. At the same time, God, you was the beginning, you are the end. And as we were discussing this lesson, the person in our Sunday school class reminded us that when you talk about that word, it's used a lot of time when people are coming from different countries and don't actually have a specific place where they live or a specific home that they have. Well, that means that they don't have no persistent location where you can just closet them off to and say this is where they stay or this is where they belong. So that's the same thing with God. We can't just call God off and say where he should be and where he's at, because God is everywhere and he's in control of everything. Outline 2, humanity's mortality. And I've been hearing that a lot down through the years as we talk and as preachers preach about the mortality, humanity's mortality. That means that we're not going to last forever. That means that we're going to die, or that means that we're going to wither away. That means that life is just a vapor. That means that we grow up and we grow like flowers, we grow like trees. But eventually we're going to vanish and we're going to pass away. But God is mortality. God is mortality. Immortality, rather. God is immortality. That means he's never ending. And we know that he was the beginning and he is the end. He's everlasting. So when we look at these scriptures and we look at the next following verses that we will read, verses 3 through 6, we keep in mind that God is everything and that while we are on this earth and while we are here, we are mortality, but God is immortality. And verse 3 says, Thou turnest men to destruction, and saidest, Return ye children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. Thou carriest them away as with a flood. They are as a sleep in the morning. They are like grass which groweth up. In the morning it flourishes and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withered. You hear what it said? That's the way our lives are. That's the way human's mortality is. And he's giving God honor, though, because he's saying, God, thou turneth men to destruction. Those who will not follow God, those who will follow after their flesh, follow after this dust, follow after the desires that are not of God, well, destruction lay it at your feet. It waited on you. The Bible lets us know that we'll be cut off if we follow after the ways of the world. And so this is basically some of what Moses is saying. He's telling God, I've seen, God, how you operate. I've seen your works. I've seen, God, that you are loving and you are kind and you're a wonderful God. But I've seen also, God, that if we don't strive to have your spirit, we don't strive to follow after you, these are the things that will occur. Because I saw it happen with the flood when the Egyptians drowned it in the Red Sea. I've seen it happen, God, when we refuse to be obedient to you after you had brought us out of Egypt. In the wilderness, God, we refused to just cross on over into the promised land. We did our own thing. And all those except Joshua and Caleb, Lord, all of those end up dying that came across the Red Sea. My God, my God.